and welcome back to Make Our World Your Runway, the show that features individuals from the pageant, modeling, entertainment, fashion, and of course, business industry. Now, this evening, we have a very special two-part series planned. We're going to recap all the guests that we interviewed from season 1, and to kick off season 2, we are going to interview Denise Casal, who is the owner and host of Power Up Radio and TV show. But now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to our recap for season 1. We had so many entertainers that we did interview, and our first entertainer was Tito Puente Jr. He's the son of the great Tito Puente. Tito was following in his father's footsteps by performing all of his dad's music and keeping this amazing music alive. Tito recently recorded a new CD entitled The King and I, which was an amazing tribute to his dad. This recording featured some of the great and legendary artists that happened to perform with his father. Tito and his Latin jazz ensemble have performed on Dancing with the Stars, the New Palladium in New York City, Hollywood Salsa Fest 2022, and a host of many other venues from around the world. And we are further honored to have Tito as the opening act to Miss International World. And you can find Tito on all social media platforms, including Facebook and Instagram. So let's give it up for Tito Puente Jr., and we want to thank him for being part of season 1.
Fantastic promoter, friend, performer. Gene's a great guy. We're doing a beautiful concert at Rebel 32 on November 27th in Poughkeepsie, New York. It's not really New York City, but it's outside of New York, and I have some fan base out there, and I'm looking forward to seeing Gene and all the fans at Rebel 32 in Poughkeepsie, New York on Saturday, November 27th, and the tickets are on sale.
Yeah, I know. I'm helping promote that flyer for you. And I know Gina's trying to get me to fly up, which I'm looking to do. But also a very good friend of ours that's going to be attending, 𝐻𝐿 used to be involved with the 𝐭𝐵𝐿. He will be attending that show. So it's going to be great. And I hope that all the fans in New York get a chance to go out there. So I wish you a lot of luck with that.
I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a great show. Thank you for having me on this this first ever show.
The next entertainer that we had was Molina Almadova. She is known as the Queen of Salsa, the producer of Salsa Fest, featuring top Latin acts from around the world. She was hailed by the Miami New Times as a woman on fire. In 2024, she received the key to the city of Miami Beach, was presented by Mayor Philip Levine. And in 2015, Molina and her orchestra were part of the 100 Years of Miami Beach, which was a star-studded lineup featuring such entertainers as Gloria Estefan, Andrea Bocelli, Barry Gibb, and many more. So thank you, Molina, for being part of our show.
Hi, how's everything? How are you guys?
Hey, welcome, Molina. Welcome to Make Our World Your Runway.
I'm so excited. I am so sorry about my dogs. They're in the background. Hi, Angela.
That's okay.
How are you?
You know what? The dog adds to the excitement.
He is horrible. Sorry about that. He's stopping now. He's gonna stop now. But thank you guys for having me. I'm super excited.
Oh no, believe me, it's our pleasure. You know, as I said, being an entertainer myself, it is such a pleasure to see someone like you, who's such a pro, that when you get on that stage, you're not only beautiful, your intelligence comes out, but your talent is absolutely amazing. You are such a dynamic entertainer that if you don't make it to the big time, Mimi Mala, who was the host and executive producer of Peace on the Streets radio show. She was the current reigning Miss Latina International Puerto Rico. She was the daytime host of Hollywood Salsa Fest for 2022. She has been featured on Housewives of Orlando, and she's also a recipient of the 100 Successful Women in Business Award.
Yes, Angela, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Oh, we're so excited to have you. And you know, you and I are like partners in crime. I mean, where I go, you go. Where you go, I go.
Come on.
And like I said, your backdrop today has got Mr. Prince there. So we don't go anywhere without Prince.
No, Prince of the South is my business partner and co-owner of Peace on the Streets radio show. So wherever we go, we're representing if he can't be here. So thank you so much for allowing me to do so.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, when Prince gets me on the show every Wednesday, what is his big introduction with me? He always says, and now we've got Miss Angela. You know how we announce this week.
He's like, the amazing Miss Angela.
I know, it's great. But anyway, Mimi, I know you have a lot of big announcements that you're going to make later on. But I know all about you, but you've got a very interesting background, and I want you to tell our viewers how you got started in this industry, what your goals are, and where you're taking peace on the streets. Now let's get on to our designers. Our first designer was Mario Feliciano, better known as Forever Lavi. Lavi has a totally different concept on fashion. He's traveled to many parts of the world to create a one-of-a-kind fashion experience. And when you see his designs on the runway, you will be totally mesmerized.
Place of fire, the dragons, the temples. So
yes.
I found myself in the fire element, you know, where I was creating shows in actually Shanghai Fashion Week. I actually produced a show within 3 months in Shanghai.
Wow.
Completely by myself. It's insane. Not by myself, but being in China or this foreign country by myself, it really just inspired me. And you know, I wanted to take my abilities for developing and creating here in the States and, you know, at home to another level to see what I'm really capable of. And from there, yeah, it just kind of just fell into place, like I said, in alignment to where, you know, unfortunately, like you said, COVID did happen, to where it kind of forced me to make decisions. And, you know, these decisions were certainly divine to where it ended me up in Bali, you know. So while I'm touring and
another designer that we've had the distinct pleasure of having on the show and working with is Zola Keller. She definitely is a fashion icon. She's been located on Las Olas Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale for over 30 years, and she has dressed everyone from Miss USA to Miss Universe, Miss America, and many well-known celebrities. She's also known for her special occasion gowns for brides, mother of the brides, and fabulous evening gowns that are seen at social events throughout Florida. The Miss International World Organization has the distinct pleasure of working with Zola every year for Christmas on Las Olas. So thank you, Zola, for all the years that we've worked with you and being part of our show. Designer and retailer Zola Keller. And from my own experience, Zola Keller is absolutely amazing. She is probably the most foremost authority on the pageant world. But she not only does the pageant world, she does bridal gowns. She also does cocktail dresses. And I'm going to read you a little bit about Zola Keller, okay? As I said, she's not only an authority on the pageant world, and speaking of the pageant world, she has dressed everybody from Miss USA to Miss Universe and Miss America, along with Miss International World and Miss Latina International. She's a woman entering pageant search out of her advice, and she is quoted in several books on the subject. One thing I can say about Zola Keller, when you go to her store and you purchase something, she does not only sell you something, but she advises. She will look at your body style. She will look at your hair. She will tell you exactly what is going to be the perfect fit for you, exactly how to wear it, when to wear it. She is just absolutely amazing. She has been on Las Olas Boulevard for over 30 years. She has been very successful. And just recently, she dressed all the VIPs and many of the top ladies for the Winterfest Boat Parade 50th Anniversary Black Tie Gala. These gowns were just absolutely stunning. They were amazing. In fact, they were so amazing that she was interviewed by WSVN Channel 7 in Miami. And if you go to her website, ZolaKeller.com, you're going to see that interview and you will see all the beautiful gowns. In fact, some of them were custom made. Another designer that we had the distinct pleasure of meeting was Tatia and Eve. She's a designer of her own custom brand. She's been published in several major magazines. She's the former Mrs. Maryland, United States 2017, and she's the owner and executive producer of her own TV show, Tatia and Eve. So thank you so much, Tatia, for being part of our show. I said, no, I'm not. I said, because if I sleep with that thought, it may not be there when I get up maybe about 6 or 7. So let me get up now. Let me start writing what I'm thinking. And you know what? I find it works. Okay. Right. When I was in the entertainment business, when I used to sing professionally, I would be the same way. I'd get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and start rehearsing. So I can appreciate that passion that you have, that you say you don't care what time of day it is. If you've got something you need to do, you just go ahead and do it. So I think that's great. But tell our viewers what it was like being Mrs. Maryland. I'm sure that was an exciting time for you.
It was. I'm a type of person, I want to try things once, at least once. I mean, life is too short. There are so many extraordinary things we can do and accomplish and experience. So why not? So this was my thinking. Why not? I can. And a lot of people were telling me, oh, no, you have this strong accent. You're not perfect. Your face is not perfect. Your body is not perfect. You're not going to make it. And it pumped me up even more and was like, you know what? Yes, I have an accent, but I also have a story behind my accent. I also have a lot that I can bring to the world. I have a lot that I can share with the world. So I hope this will shine through more than the fact that I don't speak perfect English. And I feel it's okay. A lot of people speak it as a second. And to me, it's actually my third language. Because I'm from Belarus, my native language is Belarusian. And then Russian is my second language. And then English would be my third. So if you don't understand me, I'll repeat what I'm saying. But I don't feel like this is something that...
And like I said, we have so many designers and so many entertainers. It was almost impossible to keep up with everyone that we interviewed. But our next designer was Jarate Nukete. She's a creator of new dimensions. She's fusing fine art and couture fashion. She has been featured in over 375 media outlets, originally from Lithuania, and her designs have been shown on world stages and are painted on the most luxurious silk. So thank you to all the designers who made it on our show and gave us a little something extra in the fashion industry. When I saw that, I said, I don't mind for something like that, that's so unique and so original. I don't mind being a walking art. And I even said, and my husband was looking at it. And he said, oh my God. He said, this is absolutely amazing. Because it's funny you should say that. He's just never really had much time. But if he put his mind to it, he's an artist. Oh. And a couple of the gowns that I have, he actually designed. And when I was living in New Jersey, there was a dressmaker that I knew. He'd do the designs, make the illustrations, and I'd go there and she'd make the gown from the illustration. So he's just got a very good eye for that. He's always been in the telecommunications industry for years, but he was also a model at one time. He used to model in bridal shows. So he's got a feel for the industry. But his father was really an artist. I mean, his father could draw just from his mind. Okay. And I find my husband's a little bit like that as well, too. But when people say to me, where do you get your clothes? And I always go like this. I see standing next to me. I don't buy my own clothes. He does it. He goes out. And he just knows what will look good on me. And when you said I stood out, that was something he always told me. He said, you want to make it in the business world? Now we're going to go on to our beauty queens. Of course, that's the industry that I'm in. Most of you know that I'm the CEO for Miss International World and Miss Latina International. And we were so honored to have Dr. Akshata Prabhu, Dr. Akshata Prabhu, the current reigning Miss International World. She's also a recipient of 100 Successful Women in Business, and she is also the president and CEO of the International Glamour Project. She trains women from around the world in pageantry. So thank you so much, Akshata, for being our Miss International World and being part of our show.
And especially a lot of love and affection to you, Angela, and to Maria, who I have to say that I thank the Global Trade Chamber for having introduced this beautiful platform where men, women from all over the world can share their stories and talk about how they can make a difference in the lives of millions. And who better than you, Angela Posillico, the CEO of Miss International World, to take this ahead and to interview and host such a beautiful show, Make Our World Your Runway. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. It's such an honor to have you here. And I know you and I, especially with COVID and the lockdowns, we've had a very long journey. You came to us 2 years ago as Miss International World India. You are also a director for us in India. And you just had your pageant and some wonderful ladies that you're going to be sending us in 2022. But you have done so many things and have so many accomplishments. So I want you to tell our viewers how you got involved with the pageantry world, what led you into this, and just give us an idea of your clothing line, your shoes, everything you're doing.
Wow, thank you. Well, to start with, I have to take all of you down the memory lane. All of this started when I was just 18 years old, and I was a teenager aspiring to make it big in the fashion and the glam industry.
Susmita Patel, who was the former Miss International World United States and Miss International World Global. She's also the owner of SP Fashion Direct, LLC, and she's the current model and pageant coordinator for Miss International World. Thank you so much, Susmita. And I go crazy, and you know it because you're working right along with me. You did this in 5 days. So that was probably one of the most amazing accomplishments, I have to say, in my total career. Even on Broadway, they wouldn't even do that on Broadway, do something in 5 days. So you should be very proud that you did something like that. And I was very proud to work that with you and be by your side. So I hope you can get to do something like that again, but not in 5 days. But anyway, you have something.
Much more preparation time. No more short notices.
Exactly. But I do want to tell the our viewers how we met. And I did meet you at a fashion show, which our good friend Judith Barnes.
Yes.
And you were backstage, and I looked at you and I said, "There's something about this girl. There's just something about her." I said, she's just going to go all the way. And
it was a bridal show, and it was my first show ever after moving down to Florida. And,
right.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was offered an opportunity. I'm like, why not? I'll be able to meet new people. And I think that's where it really kickstarted for me on the fashion modeling entertainment end of it, and really finding my way and what I want to do on the passions from this end.
Exactly. And I would have never known it. So when I went home that night and I showed Layla Rose, creator and director and executive producer for VIP Pageantry, and she is also a designer herself. They're absolutely amazing. Their platforms, what they speak about, and they really give a lot of credibility to pageantry. Because I interviewed one of her ladies last week who's not a model, but she's a doctor, and the things that she's trying to do for children's advocate. So it shows that the world of pageantry, you can be a model, but you can also be a business entrepreneur and still get in there.
Absolutely. Completely agree.
Yeah. And you've done that. I mean, you've brought that to the forefront of pageantry. So I think that's one of the things that I admire about you, is because you seem to cover all the bases.
Yeah, so just when I created VIP, I said, okay, there's models and actresses and professional singers over here, and then there's pageantry over here who's doing exactly the same thing. And they can walk in a room and nail interview, speak in public, speak on TV, and their resume is, a mile long, and with their education and with their platform. And so I said, okay, how can we merge this together? Because we have over here the pageant girls who want to be on the other side with entertainment, broadcasting, journalism, actress, singing, all of those things. So VIP created a home for these girls to have that platform, to be able to go to workshops with the top industry leaders in the entire world. And we brought, resources from Holly's resources, my resources, and we just put it together to have a home for these.
Sanya Satanda, if I'm pronouncing that name right, she's Miss Teen India 2021 and Miss Teen Continents India. Ria Marchand, Miss International World Petite. Mihak Sharma, Teen International World India. Simran Sharma, Miss International World Supermodel India. Landon Exoros, she's Teen International World United States. Hunter Ray, Miss International World United States, and Dr. Florence Helen Nalini, Miss International World Classic India. So thank you to all the beauty queens that were on our show and that made our show and make our World Your Runway just a little bit special. And now on to some of the business people that we've had on. Block Reber from Bahama Paradise Cruise Line, which happens to be the home of the Miss International World Pageant. We have been there for 5 years, so we want to give a big shout out to Bahama Paradise Cruise Line for being one of our main sponsors. We had Betsy Miller, who's a skincare specialist for Rodan and Fields. And of course, our last guest for season 1. We were so very honored to have Maria Renee Davila, the CEO for 100 Successful Women in Business, a great mentor and an inspiration to women around the world. Thank you, Maria, for being part of Make Our World Your Runway. So there you have it, our amazing season 1. And many thanks to all the fabulous individuals that have been part of Make Our World Your Runway. See you soon as we begin season 2 and our special guest to kick it off, Denise Cazal from Power Up Radio and TV show. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.